rankings.
Oh, and these rankings are brought to you by Dell here on Keyshawn J. Willimax. For your small business needs, call a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. ESPN Radio. Right now, Key, your real rankings, what are they?
Well, here, the real rankings, best teams in the NFL from week 6. You know, my list changes from week to week clearly, but these are the teams last week that I thought could win it all, and I had 6 of them. You know, New York Giants was 6, the Dallas Cowboys were 5, Kansas City was 4, Minnesota was 3, Buffalo was 2, and Philadelphia, obviously undefeated, was number 1. Now we switch to week 7 in the National Football League, and here is the order of my real rankings through week 7 of teams that can win it all. And I got 8 teams now. It changed a little bit. I added 2 teams based on my little bit of an observation that I saw over the weekend. Yates, let's hit it.
Number 8.
Number 8, the New York Jets, right? The New York Jets look like a team that could potentially win it all. Now, I know that they're missing Breece Hall. He's gone for the season. Avera Tucker is gone for the season. But they went out yesterday, and Joe Douglas is not sleeping at the wheel and just laying in the bed. He went out and traded for James Robinson to add some depth, missing Breece Hall. The New York Jets right now are 5-2. They are 60-1 to win it all with the odds.
Number 7.
Number 7, who wasn't in here, the Jets wasn't in here a week ago, and neither was this team, the Cincinnati Bengals. Everyone thought that they were going to bundle this year, including myself, but hey, they're at number 7, 4-3, high-flying passing attack. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, along with Jamar Chase, mixing. That offense is just lights out. Joe Burrow almost threw for 500 yards this past week. He's going to eventually hit that mark this season. They're sitting at 4-3, 22-1 odds.
Number 6.
Number 6 is interesting, and I know people, you had the Minnesota Vikings sitting at number 3 last week. They were off. How could this be? Well, they're getting punished. They're getting punished for having a bye, and they're sitting at 5-1, but I believe the teams that are in front of them are better. But I'm going to punish them and drop them to number 6. Even though they're 5-1, I think their teams that are in front of them are much better. 16-1 to win it all, sitting at 6.
Number 5.
Number 5, you'll love this, Max, a team close and dear to your heart along with Jay. The New York Giants moved from number 6 to number 5, taking care of business on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're sitting at 6-1. They're doing everything right. Now they need to do right by 2 players in Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. You got a general manager sitting in there with you right now who could talk about extending contracts or not giving top players contracts. And how did that look? They're sitting at 6-1, number 5, 40-1 on the odds.
Number 4.
Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. They move up slightly because of Dak Prescott. And you say, well, they struggled against the Detroit Lions. No, they didn't. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Play lights-out defense, have a quarterback to deliver the football in sync the way he needed to, run the football well, and not screw it up. Kellen Moore, keep this recipe, and the Dallas Cowboys could be in the big toaster in Arizona, sitting at 4, 18-1 odds.
Number 3.
Number 3 is easy, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs went out and displayed that talent against the San Francisco 49ers, so-called vaunted defense that's banged up. But they did what they were supposed to do, unleashed it on them. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. They're sitting at 5-2. They're going to run away with the AFC West slowly but surely. You can tell this. Their odds are 7-1 to win it all.
Number 2.
This doesn't change much, although I wanted to move things around, but I can't move anything around. Both these teams were off. The Buffalo Bills, they're 5-1. We know what Josh Allen is. We know what the defense is. It'll be interesting to see if they go out before November 1st trade deadline and get a little bit of help at the corner position, because there's a couple guys out there that could be taken for a little bit, peanuts on the dollar with some teams. I like for them to go try and get a guy like Greedy Williams to shore up that secondary some. He could potentially be available from Cleveland. Their odds is plus 240, the shortest odds of all odds. They're 5-1, and they're sitting at number 2.
Number 1.
And number 1 is the same. Number 1 has it been since, it's probably been, I would say I probably had them number 1 after week 2. I got to go back and look, but I feel that way. I could be wrong. Who knows? They're 6-0, the Philadelphia Eagles, 5-1 on the odds. We all know what Jalen Hurts is. We know what the offense is. We know what the defense is. We don't laugh at Nick Sirianni anymore. We laugh with him. And the Philadelphia Eagles are rolling. They're getting it done. The Philadelphia Phillies are in the World Series. Let's see if the Eagles can match that by going back to the Super Bowl and taking care of business with Jalen Hurts and company.
Mike Tannenbaum, our very own.
Oh, and their odds are 5-1. Sorry.
Front office insider, our very own GM here on Keyshawn J. Willimax, ESPN Radio. And he is
Mike,
ESPN NFL's front office insider.
Where's your
former
Los
NFL
Angeles
executive.
Chargers
I
at,
was
Mike?
just about to ask you that, Mike. Where are your Chargers on the list?
Where's your Los Angeles Chargers?
I've been waiting to ask you this.
I've been in the seat for 10 seconds, and Key's already taken 2 shots at me about, GM's extending quarterbacks. And I was trying to, go back to the city he's representing in L.A. So, hey, we got a long way to go. And, my man, Justin Herbert, he'll be just fine. But, what stands out to me, and I don't necessarily disagree with Key, is no Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, no Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. I mean, that's really remarkable that we're almost halfway through the season and none of us think they're going to be meaningful contenders. I think Aaron Rodgers' Super Bowl is not in Arizona. I think it's this week in Buffalo. I think it's their last stand.
First of all, Mike, you're getting into some shape, man. That's the first thing I noticed when you sat down. Look at you. You've been in the gym.
I appreciate it. I try to keep up with you guys.
Look at this. That's good. Good for him. He needs some positive reinforcement.
Mike's always look good. What are you talking about?
Mike. Am I right or wrong?
I have shed a few.
I can see it. I can see it. That's right.
Back to Aaron Rodgers.
Wait a minute. Give him some props.
No, he always has props from me. He always has props.
Everyone gets to walk around like Jay Will, all ripped up all the time.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Can we dig deeper into this whole Aaron Rodgers thing for a second? Because I'm just curious to get your thoughts on where it goes from here. I've always just questioned, look, there's no doubt his talent, Mike. Talent is it's worldly, right? But sometimes the way he leads makes me question leadership style, right? Like, or Tom Brady, I get it, a lot of stuff happening, but we were asking this question yesterday, who's in a worse situation? Is it Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I think right now it's Tom Brady, but I'm disappointed in Aaron Rodgers' leadership. It goes back to May, when you draft those 2 young wide receivers, and Key, you know this, like you can't get enough reps with your quarterback wide receiver. And when you move on from Devontae Adams and you're coming back and they're paying you to be the leader of the franchise, not play quarterback, the leader of the franchise, and those 2 young receivers are drafted, Christian Watson in the 2nd round, Romeo Doubs in the 4th round, you got to pick them up at the airport when they fly in. You got to figure out how they learn best. Are they better on walkthrough? Are they better in classrooms? What do they like to eat? Take them over to your house for dinner.
That's what I did to Jay when he joined ESPN.
Did you?
That's right. I picked him up from the airport. The whole thing.
I think when you have a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers and you have young players, I don't necessarily subscribe to some things that coaches or even Mike, as far as the general manager goes, to be with them 24/7, holding their hand. But when they are together in the building, whether it's lifting weights together, whether it's getting extra work after practice together or before practice together and having conversations on the sidebar, making sure that the film study is there. That's one thing